Hey guys, it's Jaeger262 here again, this time with my review of the 1/144 scale high grade Moon Gundam. And I did an unboxing of this kit and I was really excited to build it then, and I can honestly say after the build, it was an amazing kit. It is the closest thing to a real grade I think the high grade line will ever get. I mean, there was so much detail packed into this one little kit. Each arm had a full skeleton, each leg had a full frame. Sorry, not skeleton. There were so many broken up parts that made up those shoulders and the head. It was really impressive. And of course, the Psycho Comm unit on the back that make it the moon is just really impressive. But the articulation for all the moving parts it has is a little bit clunky, but we'll get into that later in the review. And then you'll see some problems with displaying it. The way I have it displayed is with the moon up, you actually get a connector piece for it to use to the actual stand, so the Moon Gundam would actually just stand in front of this and the moon would be on the stand. I didn't like the way that looked personally, so I just have it up behind him like that. So without further ado, we're going to get into the review. I'm going to take him off of this stand and then we'll go over articulation and some of the accessories. I haven't built up the weapons yet, but I will show you them. And just a little bit more about what makes this kit so amazing in my opinion. Alright, so here he is off the stand, and he is a big kit. I think the only kit that I have that's almost this big is the Phoenix Gundam, even then it doesn't come close. Now, right before we start anything, as you can see right here, I don't know if that's my error or what it is, but this knee won't close. So, yeah, won't close that knee. But let's get into articulation, starting with the head. You can look up a little bit. You just gotta jostle the neck around. He's on not an actual peg. There's no polycaps in this kit. But because of this piece here, you can get down pretty far up. You have to push that piece down, and then he'll go up, down, side to side like most Gundam kits. The arms are pretty typical of the newer high grades. They go back and forth on a ball joint. They butterfly out pretty far. They go down pretty far. The arms are bend almost at 180, but not quite. Get pretty good articulation there. And the accessories that it comes with, I know we're not doing accessories just yet, but it comes with, I didn't read the entire manga, so I didn't know that it had these, but they're called butterfly joints. In the instructions, I don't know if that's really what they are. Obviously not butterfly joints like articulation, but just as a weapon. So that's pretty cool. They do move on their own. You can move them around like that. Get pretty cool poses out of them that way. With the arm down, inside the shoulder, not only is that detail really nice, but these do move. So you can move it down to cover it, or you can move it up. Got a fairly good range of motion. And he goes up like that. And both arms can do it. Pretty good motion of the arms. And the legs are where this kit really shines in terms of articulation, in my opinion. Because just of all the detail that it takes, and you get a double knee joint, so you bend it like that, and then all the way back to get some really nice articulation, and he can do really great action poses with him. His legs go all the way out. His foot is able to go almost all the way down. It's good enough for the flight position. Swing it back and you can do poses like that, which is pretty good. Only downside to this kit, and in the kit these aren't separated, but in the instructions it does tell you to separate them so you can get nice movable skirts. You do have some ab crunch here, but not a lot, and then there's almost no. He's only turning this way because I have him off the peg a little bit, so that way he can get kind of a left, but there is no movement side to side. And that's about it for basic articulation. Some of the more special stuff is these arms. I'm not going to move them, but they are both fully articulated to hold the moon pieces in a bunch of different ways. So that's cool. And then that is finally it for articulation. Except for, yeah, you got a thigh swivel. I guess that's pretty typical, but if you do it too much, like I just did, it pops off. As far as the accessories that I do have on it, the backpack is one. Another would be the special connector piece, these butterfly pieces here, which are really cool, and then my favorite accessory, the reason I bought this kit, obviously, is like Amu plates. So I have them in the moon shape now, but these are not only really cool, but they had so many details. I tried to paint mine up a little bit to give like a reflective shine to them. And I'm going to keep them in the moon shape, but you can actually, if you just manipulate the joints a little bit, bend it, so you get that kind of arch. And that's for when he holds it like that on his back. Just kind of that way. In the kit, we do get his standard beam rifle, which I haven't painted just yet, but I'll pull it out. And we get his beam axe, which is the same beam axe as the Zazabi. So, only it's molded in white, obviously. It's not the full effect part, it's only half. And that is molded in pink. So let me see if I can find it real quick. Show you guys that. And he does come with different hands. He comes with 2 sets of hands and then 1 trigger finger for the rifle. So besides his open hands to have him with now, he does get a set of fists for holding weapons, and then he gets the trigger for the beam rifle. And this is the unpainted beam rifle. It's about the size of a standard Zaku machine gun. Nothing too special here with it. It's got some okay details. I don't know if you can really see it. The only real detail I thought was cool was this coolant pipe. Other than that, pretty basic. And then, of course, his beam weapon. Now, this is actually 3 parts, so that way it has the main part here, molded in pure white, and then the off-white of the Moon Gundam for the handle. And then, of course, this effect part, which is crazy nice. You can use this with other Gundams, but you can't use this part interchangeable because it actually connects here on the axe. There is no connection piece for this, which I thought was really cool, because if you look closely, it kind of looks like it's actually being activated, because there's no peg. And he can hold this pretty alright in either of his hands. It's got a nice big piece here on the end that clips into his hands. So he doesn't actually hold it all the way up. It just kind of holds it out like this. Let me see if I can get it on him so you can see sort of what that'll look like. Let's here, pop that off. Oh, dropped it. Pop that on. And there you go, there he is with that in place. And then if you take the back of his hand off and put his hand around it, I believe he can hold it that way. Let me check real quick. Yeah, so if you want a sturdier holding pose than just clipping it at the bottom, you can actually just make his hand hold the thing right in the middle. And you get a pretty good hold on that. The only other problem with this kit is he's very back heavy, as you'll see, so you just gotta mess with the legs a little bit, move them around. Oh, that's another thing. So I don't know if you saw that, but these pieces flip all the way down. They're supposed to, so it makes it very hard to move if you're not paying attention, because they will get caught in those joints. And if you painted the kit like I did, that's kind of nerve-wracking, because you don't want to end up scratching the paint just trying to pose your figure. So all in all, he's a pretty cool kit. Really impressed with how he turned out. A lot of great engineering. and very impressed. There's a lot of detail packed into this kit, and for all the almost real grade construction it had, it was relatively simple going together. And so it's just an absolute joy to build. I'm going to paint up the gun and probably panel line these weapons and see how that goes. I'm going to throw up some action poses of him at the end of this video so you can kind of see the different things he can do. I highly recommend this kit, even if you're not really into the Moon Gundam or if you don't read the mangas. I still recommend it. It's a very good kit. If you like high grades, you built a lot of high grades before and you want to try something that's real grade, but you don't want to change the collection type that you have, or you're not ready to make that jump, which I certainly am not, buy this kit. It will give you the feel of a real grade. It will provide the details and color separations of a real grade. It will look amazing, and it's still a high grade and still fairly simple. I absolutely love this kit, and what more can I say? I mean, it was an incredible kit. For a kit that everybody said was one of the best, if not the best high grade of 2018. Now that I've built it, now that I have it in person, I can say they were probably right. I mean, this kit is that incredible. Well, that concludes it for my review of the Bandai Moon Gundam. Thank you so much for watching. Throw up a like if you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and stay tuned. I got some other builds on the way. Thank you so much for watching.